So today we have Mama Messi. Mama Messi, hi.
Hello.
Maybe you can introduce yourself, tell us your name, and maybe what you do.
Okay, thank you. My name is JOAN CHEMUTAI. Currently, I'm a business lady.
So today we're here to hear about Messi. Alikuwa boys mchangamfu sana, alikuwa apenda futa. First, why the name Messi?
Okay, the name Messi. Okay, I gave birth to Messi in 2006, and that was the time World Cup was being played. I used to support Spain, and Messi is my favorite player. So that is where the name came from. Yes.
Alikuwa his upbringing as a boy and everything to schooling. What was he like?
Messi has been a bright boy. All I can say is that when I gave birth to him when I was very young, I was only 20 years. And that time I just finished my high school. I was in college. So Messi became a strong boy that knowing that he only has the mom there. So he grew up knowing that I have to work hard. And at the end of the day, I need to support my mom. Yes.
Uh, October is a Cancer Awareness Month. This is what Messi went through. Maybe you could walk us through from the point where he started falling ill. Walk us through the journey from the when you discovered that this is what he has.
Okay, this month being a cancer month, it's always a very tough month for me because it gives me so much memories about my son. But I'm gaining the courage. So all I can say is that when in 2020, the time of Corona, Messi has been doing well. He went to school. There was no any medical issues he had. So the time when Corona started, when the school closed in February, he came home. That time I had a small baby. So come in April, we traveled home to Bomet. In July, that's the same year, 2020, he started complaining of backaches. He was a candidate, by the way. He was in grade 8 at the Eagle Academy. So when he started complaining about the backaches, I was like, he was a teenager. So I used to tell him, are you sure you're not playing football roughly? Because he used to love football. And he was like, no, ma'am, I have a backache. We tried, as a normal mom, you'll give painkillers. After a while again, he started complaining again. So that time I came back for work. My 3 months for maternity leave were over. So I came back to Eldoret. So I left him at home with my mom. So the same thing again, he complained to my mom that he's having a backache. That time he went again, he had gone to visit my sister in Kericho. So my sister in Kericho took him to a medical facility in Kericho. That's when the doctor said that it's just a muscle spasm. So they started doing physiotherapy for him. That was in August. We said it's okay. So after a while again, after the pain went down, after like a month, he started again complaining that I have a backache. And that time, the schools now were reopening. So when the schools were reopening, we have a parish priest. Now his age, he was around 14 years. He was supposed to go for circumcision. So there was some boys who had already been prepared for the ceremony, for the initiation ceremony. So our priest said, it's only 1 month. So instead of him going back to school, now he went to the, exactly, yeah. So in that 1 month, we didn't know it was cancer. So that time, I hear that cancer haitaki kisu. So I think the moment the procedure was done, the pain now started becoming intense. But now I could not see him. He was inside there for 4 weeks.
The initiation ceremony.
Yes,
After
exactly.
he got initiated.
Yes. So my brother could go there. He tells my brother, no, the pain, my leg, it had affected this right leg. Yes. So the time was passing out. That time, Corona was there. I was diagnosed with Corona, so there's no way I could go for that ceremony. So I just watched the video. So my mom went. The moment the boy came out, you could see even from his face that he was really in pain. And then he had his body he had become so slim. Alikuwa amekonda sana. So, and normally mtu akienda kutairi, you expect the boy coming back amenona. But for him it was the opposite. So when we realized that, after the ceremony, in fact the whole ceremony, he had to sit down because now of the pain. After that, my mom requested the parents who were taking care of them that to allow Messi now to seek medical attention because now he cannot continue being with the other boys. Let's seek medical attention. So my mom took him. We spoke over the phone. He was taken back to Kericho. When we reached Kericho again, the doctors said it's a muscle spasm. The same thing. So he also advised we do, it was just a misdiagnosis. We do physiotherapy. So Messi requested now that since he's home, he will do the physiotherapy in Kapkatet Hospital. So that time my mom took him there, and my brother was also there. They went to see a physiotherapist in Kapkatet Hospital. But when they reached there, the physio person told them, I don't think it is what I'm thinking. I think you guys should seek medical further assistance to check on what exactly is happening to Messi. So the physio refused to do the physiotherapy. So that's the time now we were like, what is happening? Me, I'm in Eldoret. I can't travel home because now at that time you could not go to when Corona was very rampant. Yeah, the lockdown. So my sister who is in Nairobi, decided that let's take Messi to Nairobi for further medication at Nairobi Hospital. So I told them that's fine. So my brother and Messi used the other route for Narok. Then me, I used this route. We met in Nairobi. We went to Nairobi Hospital, went to see orthopedist. Orthopedic. Yeah, so when we reached there, the first impression from him, the doctor, he was like, there's a mass growth here at the pelvic side. Because it had also affected, when I saw him, I almost cried because that time his walking style had changed. My son is very thin, but my mind was not thinking otherwise. So I just told him, it's okay. So the doctor said, there's a mass growth here. But before I conclude anything, I'll send you for a scan. I said, okay. We went for the scan. The scan came out that there is a very big growth at the pelvic side and it is growing aggressively. So we asked the doctor now, what do we do? But the doctor had suspected something, that it could be cancer, but he didn't want to tell us that. So he advised us now we need to do a biopsy. That time we went for a biopsy in Lancet, the same Nairobi. We are doing everything in Nairobi. The procedure is very painful and it's very costly. So at that time, my sister at least was working in a good company. So that time she was able to pay our bills. So we went, did the biopsy. We took the results. We were told to wait for around 2 weeks, and the results came out. So that time, we went to see the doctor. Now we went back to Nairobi Hospital to see the orthopedic. When we arrived, he excused my son, told Messi now, enda hapo nje kidogo. So tukabaki mimi, my sister, and my brother. So the doctor now started explaining that this is cancer. It was real shock. In fact, I didn't continue listening to what he wanted to say. I was just imagining my son, what is going through his mind outside. So I walked out of the doctor's office and I went to sit with Messi outside, because even him, he was very anxious. What is it? So akaniuliza, mam, ni nini? Nikamwambia hapana, daktari amesema kuna kitu imemea hapa nyuma, but itachomelewa tu, itaisha. Akaniambia sawa. So we had to hide from him that it's cancer. So the doctor now advised us, now what next? It was now we go see an oncologist. So we went also the same hospital, went to see an oncologist. So the oncologist advised us that we should start with chemotherapy. So the doctor told us that it's a cancer which is rare with young boys, or not even young boys, young adults between 14 and 19. It's called EWING'S SARCOMA. Yeah, so we went. So the oncologist now advised us we start chemotherapy. Not chemo, sorry. We started with radio. Yes, radiotherapy. So we were like, okay, so how are we going to do it? So he said we are going to do 31 sessions. We were like, okay, how much? They told us it's now we started going to do inquiries. We found out M-Pisha was doing at around 6,600, but for Nairobi Hospital, it was 6,000. So we continue in Nairobi Hospital. So all this time, my son doesn't know, ajui ako na cancer. The good thing, I had an HIF. So it really assisted us. So every day it could pay for us 2,400. So the 3,600, oh, it was the opposite. NHIF was paying 3,600 as we were paying the 2,400 cash. So now the bill started, because now
How frequent were this radiotherapy? Like weekly or in a month?
it had to be daily, because we were now starting to do 31 sessions. So the doctor told us we'd be going every day at 7:30 in the morning. So now I just had to brave myself. And now that this is a journey I'm now starting. We went back to the house. It was so hard. How do you start? But God gave me the grace. Because just imagine I'm having a baby who is breastfeeding around 6 months old. Yeah, I have a sick boy also. So when we were in the house, Messi could not even sleep because of the pain. So it reached a point, I have to go outside and cry. Because sometimes when people could call me, I'm like now starting to ask them for financial support, because now we need transport, we need food also, the medicine now is also taking. So we started the radiotherapy. The radiotherapy went on well. Every day we could go to Nairobi Hospital, anachomelewa, tunarudi back. We finished our radiotherapy in January around 19th. That is in 2022. No, 2021. So at that time, I remember the last Messi was asking me, Mom, why are we coming to cancer center? Do I have cancer? Then I'm like, no, cancer center is the place where they have that radiotherapy. Yes, so just accept na ni ya kuchomelewa. So unaona hakuna kitu mbaya. So we went, did the sessions, 31 sessions, we finished. We did a scan and it was very impressive, by the way. Tulipata imepunguka kabisa, imepotea. So the doctor told us, now I want to give you a break of 1 month, so that after 1 month turudi tena tufanye another scan, tuangalie hiyo growth imefikia wapi. Nikasema sawa. So that time now we came back to Eldoret. We sat with my son, but the pain, he started having to have leg pain. Anaumwa na magoti kabisa.
Mguu moja ama zote mbili?
Moja, this side. So daktari akasema nao mnaweza enda tena mfanyiwe scan tujue ni nini mbaya na hiyo magoti. We went to St. Luke's, but cancer is very painful. That one, I can't lie to you. At night we couldn't sleep. The pain, we used to use the most expensive painkillers, but the pain could not go at once. So that time we went to St. Luke's. We did a scan. Then they saw there's a growth in between the bones of the knee. So after that, we took the scans to the doctor. The doctor pia akaangalia akasema there's a growth, but it is in between the bones. So we asked the doctor, that is now the orthopedic. He was like, now I'm suspecting it is the same disease that has moved to the leg. Then we were like, okay, so what do we do? He said, I want to send you back to the oncologist. We went back to the oncologist. The oncologist said, I cannot start treating this knee. I don't know what it is. So you also have to go. We have to test. We know if it is the exact disease so that I can start. So we went back to the orthopedic. Told him, the oncologist said he can't start giving us medication until he knows exactly what is this in between the knee. Tukaenda. Daktari pia akasema, now this one has to be an open surgery. You are like, on the knee now. You are like, Messi apendi mambo ya theater. Ama kuingia hospitali yako anapenda kabisa. So I had to have also the courage to just convince him that, baba, it's not something. Ni kuenda tu wakate, watoe hiyo kitu, waangalie, watibu. Kasema sawa. We started our journey back again to Nairobi. Went to Nairobi. We booked Nairobi South Hospital. We did the surgery. So it was very successful. We went back home. We took it to Lancet. We were told to wait another 2 weeks, then we go back. So in those 2 weeks, the doctors were just managing the pain with the drugs. Hiyo wiki mbili ilipoisha, tukaenda kuchukua results. Kufika, it is the same. Daktari akaniambia ni the same ugonjwa. Yes. Na ilikuwa imeanza sasa kumove haraka because now he started also complaining of stomach pains. So the doctor again said, now let's go back to the oncologist. Kufika kwa oncologist akasema now hii ugonjwa imespread. But sielewi kwa nini umekimbia sana kwa miguu, because our main part, the pelvic, imeclear kabisa. Kaambia, so now what do we do? Kasema the remaining thing to do is do chemotherapy. Hiyo ni kizungu ingine ya mtoto. Apendi chemo sasa. Now that is the time my son knew he had cancer.
From the treatments and everything. Ama mulimwambia?
From radio, he didn't know. But when it came now to chemotherapy, he Googled. He had a phone. So he went Googling, Mom, I don't like this chemotherapy. It's for cancer people. Akaniambia, Mom, do I have cancer? Nikamwambia, hapana. I never disclosed. Ye mwenyewe alikuja akajijulia tu. So nikamwambia, baba kubali tu, tufanye. na uzuri hatufanyii Nairobi, tutarudi kufanyia Eldoret. Now that time MTRH had chemo. Nikamwambia tutafanyia Eldoret. It was so hard. So imagine unaambia mtoto, ukimaliza kuongea naye unaenda kwa room, unalia, you come out unakuwa different, because I never imagined that he will be diagnosed with this. Yeah, so daktari akaandika barua, no, we come to Eldoret tuone oncologist MTRH. Yeah, all this time I had a nurse in MTRH by the name Caro. She was really like a mother to Messi, na Messi alikuwa amemwamini. So in fact it was even Caro who convinced Messi tukuje tufanye hiyo chemo, kwamba si uchungu, we kuja tu. So we came to Eldoret. The doctor wrote a letter. I really suspected that letter was not good. That is the oncologist in Nairobi. But I didn't open it. The way it was just sealed, I just brought it directly to the same doctor in MTRH oncologist. So when the oncologist read it, you could see from his impression that things were not well. Yeah. But I just had to put that brave face. So he also asked us some questions. Why was chemo not done at the same time with the radio? So mi nikamwambia tuko tunafuata maagizo ya daktari vile alikuwa anasema. Akasema sawa. So we started. So the doctor here also started us giving us the sessions now for chemotherapy. So we had agreed to be doing once a month. That was in March. So not once a month, once weekly. Alisema tuanze weekly. Then after that, as we go along, we see the progress. Akamwambia sawa. So nilikuwa bado na kibarua kuja kuongelesha mtoto, kaongelesha Messi, nikamwambia tu baba, this is part of the treatment, all will be well. Tunaachia Mungu kila kitu. So he was a candidate, and I remember that year candidates were grade 8 walifanya exams, wa class 8 walifanya exams in March. So Messi was a candidate. So nikamuadvise baba, si tufanye mtihani. Then he was like, no mom, me sijasoma, I've not been to any class. I only went for class in 1 month. That was in January. Nikamwambia hapana baba, mimi hata sitaki unipe marks mingi. Just give me 250 so that by August you guys are joining secondary school. Utakuwa umepona vizuri, alafu unaingia tu kuliko turudi tena primary level. He accepted. So I told him fine. So we went to the school. I went to the school, told them Messi will do the exams. So NEC advised us that we need to admit him in a government hospital. So we admitted Messi in MTRH. By that time, he had started doing his chemo sessions. So tukamwadmit MTRH. He did his exams in a ward. He was in so much pain. I remember even the invigilator anatuambia. So we could leave him in the morning, we go see him in the evening akishamaliza mtihani. So sometimes tunafika anasema, ai ma'am, leo imeniuma miguu mpaka naishindwa kuandika. Mpaka nikakubaliwa kwanza kulala, uchungu ishe, alafu nikarudi kuandika. Nikamwambia baba, hata sina mbio. Yenye utanipea marks iko tu sawa. So he did the exam, tukamaliza. Messi was a bright boy, as I told you earlier. So he managed, he got 208. Then when the results came, I was like, you see, I told you, let's do it. Hii imeshatupea nini? Utaingia secondary. Yeah, so we started. That was when he was doing the exams, he had already done his first chemo. It was very successful because you could do even the chemo and then go back to his school. Sometimes it's like, let me go say hi to my classmates. Yeah, the friends. Tunafika huko shule, anawasalimia, tunarudi. By that time now he had to walk with a crutch because now he could not walk by himself. We had to support him. But he could talk, he was eating well. His favorite meal was nyama choma. But sometimes anapenda chapati. Messi could eat even a lot of chapatis, like 8 na dengu. So after the chemo, the first one we did well. The second week was okay. The third week was okay. The fourth week was also okay. Now the doctor said, naona the progress is not bad. Let's now start doing monthly. We were like, okay, that was in May. We only did once, and that was the last time my son alitoka kwa kitanda.
You're still admitted?
No. Yeah, at home. So that time now, there was a doctor, the oncologist, the first oncologist we met. I felt like he's not helping me much because sometimes Messi is unwell, tumeenda OC, unaona tu vile anakuserve. I wasn't feeling it, so we changed the doctor. So the doctor we had was a very good doctor. He could guide me, tell me this is what is happening. So the last chemo we did ilikuja ikamweka chini kabisa. That was in April. In May now, atungeenda chemo ingine. So the doctor advised me that we need to stop chemo because now if we continue, we'll be harming the boy. Hapo ndio akaniambia sasa, mom, we need to talk. I was like, okay, what do you want? He told me that now your boy, hii ugonjwa wake imespread sana. And pale tumefikia, we cannot continue doing chemos. So itabidi to stop. By then I was very brave. I went with my friend. There's a friend of mine called Faith. We went together. She was even down, but I was the bravest. So the doctor told us, now your son is on an exit. There's nothing we can do. He's on his way out. The only thing I told the doctor was, it's okay. You've done your part. Yenye imebakia sasa, wacha niachie Mungu. So coming back home, seeing my son putting that brave face, nikajikaza, nikakuja kwa nyumba. Mtoto anauliza, wanasemaje hospitali? Namwambia kila kitu iko sawa, tuendelee tu. But you could see his health is deteriorating. It's not going any further. Yeah, getting better. So so the doctor told me that pali imefikia tutakuwa tunatibu tu. Akipata homa tunatibu homa, damu ikienda chini tutatibu hiyo ya damu. So kitu ilikuwa inatusumbua sana ni hiyo blood, ilikuwa inashuka kabisa, damu yake inashuka mpaka 3. And that time I almost even left my job. I wanted to resign from my job. Then there's a friend of mine by the name Maureen. She had already resigned from her job. So she told me, let me be the mom. Usiache kazi na pia mi nimeacha. So I'll be coming. Let me be there. Wacha kuchunga Messi ikuwe kazi yangu. So nikamwambia sawa. So in the morning, we could sleep. The whole night, I could not sleep. And that time I was working in Nandi County. So in the morning, I could wait for my brother. I wake up, I give Messi medicine. I feed him. Then my brother comes in and my friend. So the moment they come in, I go for work. They take care of Messi the whole day. The moment I arrive in the evening at 5, they leave. Nabaki na mtoto. Nikamchunga. So on his birthday, in May, towards the end of May, he started having hallucinations. Sasa akili anaanza kuhallucinate, anaambia mom, hata hiyo birthday yangu. No, his birthday is June 18th. So I was like, mom, hiyo birthday yangu hata hamtaipata. Mtakuwa mnasherehekea vitu zingine. So nikamwambia, huu unaongea aje? Akaniambia hapana. Then now the eyes started bulging out. Then I was like, okay. After it bulged out, he became blind on one eye. Yeah, on one eye. And then I was like, okay. So kitu ilikuwa natukimbiza hospitali ni damu. Saa zingine tunapima damu imefika 3. We rush to the hospital. Cancer is bad. Cancer is bad. I went through all the stages of death. So every morning I could wake up, I'm seeing him. There's no change. Now he became blind on the both eyes. But before his birthday, he was not totally blind. He saw the cake. He saw even his friends coming because he was like, Mom, umeita kila mtu akuje birthday yangu. Call my friends. We need to celebrate. Wambie itakuwa sherehe kubwa. In fact, ye mwenye alikuwa anapiga na simu yake. But you could see he was straining to see because it was only one eye still seeing. But this one had already bulged out everything. There was no meat. You could see on his bones. So after his birthday, that was on 25th June. He started again hallucinating. He was like, Mom, I want to go. You're like, where do you want to go? He's like, Mom, you can't see people are calling me. They have worn white. I'm like, no, you're not going. Tukaka, but now he became now totally blind. So when people even come to see him, anaambia mom, hata watu wanakuja kunionea nini, mimi hata siwaoni, I can't even see them. Nikaambia baba, wanakutakia mema na kila kitu itakuwa sawa. So the last visit to the hospital, that was the end of the month, the first week of July. Unajua na hakuwa naona na damu ilikuwa imeenda mpaka 3. Tukaenda akapewa damu pints, I think around 3 or 4 pints. We came back on our way, tukiwa kwa bumps ya testimony. Hata hiyo bumps takange kuipita. Akaniambia, turn back kwa seat, akaniambia mom, I know, I don't think I'll make it. Namuza why? Mom, I have cancer. Nikamwambia, you will make it, you don't worry. Mungu wetu haizi tuacha. So we came back to the house. Akaingia kwa kitanda. Now he was bedridden totally kabisa. So every time ananiambia mom, just nipeleke kwa kitanda yangu. So I don't know what he meant by that time. Kitanda yangu ni nini? So kumbe kitanda yake he wanted his final resting place. So mimi naambia suko kwa kitanda yako. Ananiambia no, nipeleke kwa bed. So we had to confuse his mind. Tunamtoa kwa kitanda, tunamweka kwa kiti. Akikaa kwa kiti kidogo like 5-10 minutes, tunamwambia sasa fanya nini? Uko kwa kitanda yako. Alafu tunamrudisha back to the bed. Then another day he told me also, Mom, unajua wewe ndio umenifunga. Wewe na Maureen mnanifunga, si mniachilie tu niende. And to some point I think nilikuwa nafungia mtoto wangu by the way. Because every time he wants to go, but mimi namwambia hapana. Wewe ngoja. Tuko na hii, utapona. But the very last day he breathed his last, my brother came. That morning I wasn't myself. So at around 11, he went for a long call. When I saw, I was like, no, this one, I think there is a sign. But I didn't want to put it in my mind that it is the end. So my brother akaniambia, wacha tumlishe lunch, we toka kwa room. Nikatoka. Nikaenda kwa sitting room. So staying in the sitting room, wakamlisha. Then I told my brother, si twende tumbaie supper. On our way, I told God, unataka kuninyanyasia mtoto mpaka lini? Those are my exact words I used. Unanyanyasia mtoto mpaka lini? Hakuna nyama, macho blind, there's no mtoto anaenda tu ana deteriorate kabisa, huku mifupa all over, the eyes are all out. Mungu, mpaka lini? I think that is the time God said, umeniambia, and I was waiting for you to tell me that. So as you were coming back, we came back around 2. When we came back to the house, the nurse and the doctor came in. So when I saw them, I was very happy. I told them, you guys, thanks for coming. I thought you guys are not going to come. Then the nurse told me, no, I had to come too. I need to examine Messi. He's, what is it called? Oxygen level. Yesterday I saw him, he wasn't okay. Come here, okay, come. So they went to the room. Me, I remained in the sitting room. In the room, Maureen, my friend, called my sister. My sister was a bit slow. Then me, I sensed something was not right. Nikaruka kwa kiti. Kufika kwa bedroom, naangalia mtoto. He's not responding. Ako tu. So the doctor akaanza kuniexplainia, akaniambia now Messi hayuko poa. Nikamuuliza now what do we do? Akaniambia ni wewe kuamua. Nikamwambia mimi naamua aje, si ni tukimbie hospitali? Akaniambia no. The option is not the hospital because you know the condition of Messi, you know what is expected. And we might rush to that hospital because tunaendea to oxygen and he might not make it. Akiendelea kuniexplainia mtoto wangu apumui. Kupinduka tu hivi, nikagonga nurse, nikamwambia mtoto apumui. And that was it. Nikatolewa nje. Azile naenda kutoka kwa mlango akaniambia hapana, anapumua tena. Nikamwambia kumwangalia, nikapata. That was it. Yeah, so that is how Messi breathed his last on 16th July 2021.
The whole time you said your sister was helping with the bills. Was it throughout mpaka ile saa Messi alituacha ama at some point even friends came in to try and help? Because I know being a caregiver to a cancer patient, it's very expensive, especially financially, precisely. So how else were you managing on top of what your sister was doing for you and your family members?
Yeah, my sister, my family people did well. They did it for when we were first trying to diagnose, to know exactly what was happening. But you see now the bill started going, it became overwhelming because now every day it was 6,000. That is for the radiotherapy. So I had friends. My friends came in big time. In fact, hata sijui nitawashukuru aje. We started a WhatsApp group. Every time we need support or Messi is going for his checkup, anything we just mention in that group, my friends could come through. Yeah, so I got all the support from my friends, my family, the doctors, everyone supported me. Yeah.
And also, Messi has brothers. The whole time when Messi was from the moment he got sick to the moment he left, how were they coping with the whole situation?
That was for them. The small boy now I can say didn't know. Na huyo mdogo Kiprop, huyo ndio alikuwa roho ya Messi. All that time when Messi was unwell, he wanted to be next to the small boy. Anasema leteni huyo Kiprop. Every time hata akisikia akilia, anasema leteni huyo mtoto, nyie hamjui kumchunga. And then sometimes he could tell me that, mom, natamani sana kubeba Kiprop, but aki siwezi, sina nguvu. Tunamweka tu anakaa hapo. But now, the most affected one from my boys, I can say was Ramsey. Ramsey could go to school. Akifika, ananiambia, mom, toka kwa room. Ni mimi sasa nachunga Messi. Ramsey could sleep on the same bed. Ananiambia, mom, Messi akitaka maji nitawaita, nyi muende tu, hata nyi mmefanya, let me do it. Anakaa hapo, unastukia na kuita, mom, Messi anataka maji. Nakuja naenda kumchukua. So even the time he was breathing his last, we were together. The big boy Iniesta was not around, alikuwa ameenda kwa ndugu yangu. So tulikuwa na Ramsey. So they were traumatized. It really took me time before they accepted that ameenda. But I was brave enough. I used to tell them, muliona Messi vile ameteseka. Mumeona vitu amepitia, hiyo ugonjwa yote. vile ameumia. So they were accepting it. They were like, okay, yes, tumeona. Kaambia sasa Messi Mungu amemuita. Imekuwa wakati wake. Akasema sawa. But you could see later, it took them a while. Even up to now. Sometimes, like, unajipata tu, unasukia kila mtu amemuita tu Messi. Anasema, kumbe Messi hayuko. So it still affects them, but with time they'll get over it. Yeah.
Maybe for the audience, all her sons are named after footballers. So msishangae mnasikia Ramsey, Iniesta, yeah. So during the whole time, especially when Messi was unwell, how and after he left, are there steps you've taken to, like, especially for your own self, not necessarily your sons or anyone, like wewe mambo ya therapy, are you okay? How are you handling him not being with us? Is there any professional help you've sought? Is there any support system like inakusaidia ku move from day to day?
Okay, professional help. All I can say is just God. Because, yeah, I've had my mom, my aunts, my family members, my sisters, my brothers talking to me, but utasikia yes wameniongelesha sahi, but the next minute I'm down. So I've always been depending on God. That's all I can say. Because it really affected me, because I remember even when he passed on, I cried asking God, why me? So many questions. Then I also asked God, si ungengoja hata nipate shamba, nikuwe na mahali kwangu pali nitamzika. Sasa nitazika wapi mtoto? And that's when my mom came in. Akaniambia, firstborns si wenu, firstborn ni wetu. So you don't worry. But I was happy. We buried Messi kwetu, yes, at home in Bomet, in a the place vile tu tulifika siku ya burial, niliona tu shimo. I was happy because I knew his final resting place is a place I'll be seeing every now and then. So for a counselor, I've been having counselors, maybe even in church, sometimes my priest. Sometimes when they see me talking more about him, they know I haven't healed. But they keep on talking to me. That's all I can say. But I'm really trying. It's not easy. Grief, I always say grief is a process. Ni pole pole tu. Kwanza sana sana when it comes to, him, alikuwa amekuwa mkubwa. We could share ideas. He was like now the man of the house. Now being a single mom, he was like a man of the house. So before even I could do something, I will ask him, baba, nifanye hii. Anakwambia hapana mama, achana na hiyo haitatusaidia. So I felt something imenitoka. It hasn't been easy, but kwanza saizi when school holidays come in, inanigonga because I expect him to also be coming home. Yeah, so that's why when it reaches this cancer month, I always believe, yeah, it really triggers me. Cancer is bad. You can never even wish your worst enemy cancer, because I saw what my son went through. Huwezi taka mtu mwingine apitie. But all in all, we accepted God's will and we are here. We are moving on. Yeah.
What moments, what moments about Messi do you remember and maybe like really cherish? I know there are plenty, but there are specific ones maybe you have your favorites.
The moments I cherish most, Messi was a kind-hearted person. Messi alikuwa anapenda watoto. Every time, hata ukiona ameenda mahali, anavutia. You could see people, and I think pia ameachia watoto wengine, because now my house is a house of children. Watoto wanajaa. Again, what I'll miss about Messi, used to love football. Alikuwa ananiambia mom, I'll surprise you one day. I'll be the next Messi. Nitapanda ndege and I will change your life. So those are the things sometimes inaniweka chini. But It was a short-lived life. Yenye sikutaka ikuwe cut short because we had very big plans with him, but we just accepted. Yeah.
Maybe to the people watching, maybe they have been through what you've been through, or they're going through what you went through. What would you tell them? How would you like encourage them through the process?
Okay. I know some of my friends also, they are going through the same. I have friends who have cancer patients. Some have lost. Just to have the courage, rely on God, because trust me, what kept me going was I knew God. And every time I'm low, I could just turn back to God, namwambia Mungu, wewe ndio ulinipea huyu mtoto. Yeah, so and they should just speak out. I think if there's something someone is going through, if you have a patient, don't hide it. When you speak out to people, when we come even talk about it, you will feel encouraged. So never lose hope, never give up. It's not an easy journey, but I believe that at the end of the tunnel, there's always some light. Yeah.
What do you feel with, as much as with cancer concerned, what do you think, or do you feel the government should improve on mambo ya cancer treatment and everything, kuanzia kwa madaktari to everything, the whole process? What do you think the government should do or should add in terms of mambo ya cancer and matters health generally, especially now that kuna story watu wana move kwa shift sijui sha? What are your thoughts?
Okay, for cancer treatment is very expensive, but I thank God that time NHIF was really did good for me, because I remember for the chemotherapy sessions, each session was 25,000 every week, but I never paid a single cent. NHIF catered for me. So right now, it really pains me when I see now cancer patients going to hospital. They can't have their chemotherapies because of the movement of NHIF to SHA. Yeah, so maybe the government should just consider when you hear the term cancer, it is something not good. So they should not give cancer patients a tough time. They should make their treatment as easy as possible, as simple also, so that we don't strain so much. Because you can imagine these cancer patients, when they go for those chemotherapy, you have to sit down for almost like an hour. Uone tu dawa inapita, unakaa tu mahali. So it is not, all I can say, si kitu rahisi. So gava tu icheze tu kama hao waeke cancer treatment ikuwe free. That is all I can say.
Normally, when people go through what you've been through, we see that they, after their loved one is gone, they come up with initiatives to, as a sort of, a remembrance of their loved one and how they were. Maybe for you, do you have any plans to like start up something, or even like just do something that, in remembrance of Messi? Are there any plans in the pipeline?
Yeah, I do have plans because I really love to have Messi legacy lives. So I had a plan of opening a Mark Messi Foundation. I had started it, but I've not done the registration because I've not been in a stable job, so finances I'm a bit low. So, but in future, I'm planning to start, and this foundation, I'll major on three things. First is education. I'll try to teach more people about cancer, give them education on how to manage it. And secondly, I'll also deal with sports. My son loved sports. So Mark Messi will support the young talents. and support. Juu Messi alikuwa anakuwa mtu wa watu. I'll even like to go back to my village and support the needy. Because I remember there's a time hata tungeenda Christmas nyumbani, anaambia mam, hizi nguo zinitoshe. I'm going to, hata hizi viatu zinitoshe. Nataka kupelekea watu nyumbani wale hawajiwezi. So I will help people. And then the third one is, I had three: education, sports, and no, health-wise. Yes, there were three things health-wise. So health-wise is just creating a awareness, yes, about the cancer. Yes.
Would you like collaborate with other people, like, or organizations?
And so far I haven't. So I'm planning to. Sincerely speaking, I can say I've not healed completely. I wanted the moment that I'm ready to start. So, because sometimes you go speaking to someone about how your son died, what you went through, it still hurts me. I haven't gotten that courage enough. So, I'm planning now to start. I believe, even as you can see me now, I've gained the courage. I'm healing. Yes, I can speak without crying. By the way, we could not even have this conversation. I could have cried the whole session. So I thank God. So I'm planning to start now going to hospitals, going to some organizations so that we can see how we can bring up Mark Messi, because I know my son, where he is, he knows that my mom cannot let me down. My mom is a hardworking woman. My mom will do it for me. Yes, and I want to do it because of my other kids who are here. Yeah, because sometimes they ask him, Mom, si ulikuwa uanzishe Mark Messi Foundation? So it's on the pipeline. That's what I can say. Yeah.
To maybe somebody watching mwenye angependa maybe mkuja mshikane mkono.
Okay. With my foundation, I might need, if there's any well-wishers who will like to support, tutembee pamoja. Because for Mark Messi, sijai establish. It is just a name that I've only created. And I would like to major on the three things I had said before, to create awareness through education, to also through Mark Messi will major on health and also sports, because my son loved football. Yeah.
To your family members, friends, people who stood with you in every step of the way with regard to Messi, unaweza waambia nini?
Yao, hata sina la kusema, but I lack words. My family, one love. That's all I can say. Asante sana. You stood with me from the time Messi was diagnosed, throughout his treatment, hata after amepass, mumesimama na mimi. I will not be where I am right now talking without your support. Same as my friends, you really supported me big time. I can't mention all your names, but just know that in my heart, I don't know. Asante sana. God bless. Yeah.
Hustle-wise, is there something you're doing currently?
Currently, I'm not doing anything because I was working. In a company. Then our contract ended in April this year. So they didn't renew our contract. So at the moment, I'm still doing a lot of applications. I'm applying for job. So at the moment, I'm not doing anything. Yeah.
So thank you very much for speaking to us and telling your story about Mark Messi. I hope that it inspires other people also to, gain the courage to, if they are going through the process that you went through, maybe they can have the courage to, be strong and keep supporting their loved ones. And maybe in case something happens, they'll still be strong to keep the legacy of their loved ones alive. And we wish you well, you and your sons, and may everything good happen. umesema unatafuta job, kama mwenye ako huko ako na opportunity, tutapeana namba ya Joan hapo kwa description box. You can reach out to her, you can call her, and maybe if you have opportunities or you want to collaborate on her foundation, she's waiting for that call. And thank you again. I hope you heal fully and things just work out fine, so that maisha lazima isonge in one way or the other.
Thank you also. Thank you for your time. Thank you Luanga TV for taking time to listen to my story. And to my listeners, if there's anyone who will want, maybe if you can see my story is going to help others, I'm an easy person. You can talk to me. I'm willing to come and give a talk about what I went through, how the healing has been, and what has made me who I am right now. Yeah.
So thank you for also welcoming us to your place. Those of you watching, may this story maybe inspire you and give you hope that whatever you're going through, whatever situation is may this serve as an encouragement, that you won't be down forever. There's hope out there. So thank you also for watching. Keep subscribing. Again, I'll give Joan's number on the description box, so that maybe if you want to reach out to her, it will be easier to get to her social handles as well. Thank you for watching. Keep subscribing, keep sharing this video, and we'll see you on the next one.